Welcome back, everybody. It's time for the general meeting. Thank you all for your patience, love, and empathy. Before we get started, I just want to lay one ground rule. Throughout this entire 4-day event, I've been asking you to bang the one keys as hard as you can. But for the next hour, please, let's not do any ones, only because we're going to have people asking questions within the chat for the general meeting, and it's going to fly by, and I'm not going to be able to catch them all. So just for this hour, no ones, okay? And maybe at the end, some ones, but for now, no ones, okay? I apologize. This is going to be a bit dry, so bear with me, but we're going to get through it. We had a very successful board meeting last week. Normally, we meet the first day of the convention, but because this was digital this year, we said, no, we're going to do it a little earlier. And we actually got all of the board members on, and we could see everyone in a little square, just like you see now. And it was very successful. It was actually a foreshadow of how fun this was going to be, being able to see everyone and being able to talk and the camaraderie. It was really nice. So like I said, I have a schedule. I'm going to just go through line by line what we talked about. Save your questions for the end, and we're going to put them in the chat, and then I'll answer them one by one. And if we have to, I'll even unmute your mic. You'll have to ask for a request for that, and then we'll be able to you can ask your question that way, and we'll have a quick discussion. But for most part, it'll be quick and simple. And I gave us an hour, but it might be shorter. So fingers crossed. Here we go. Okay, so the first item of our agenda was the treasurer's report and how well we were doing. And he has the same quote every year. We are fine. We are very fine, actually. We do very well each year with the club deck and the auction and new members. So our treasury is liquid, as he would say. So I don't want to spend much time there. We had editor's report from the CTD. That's the Clear the Decks. That's the quarterly that you receive. That's Paul Bostock who runs it. Thank you, Paul. He said that everything is great. For those of you who are technical, Paul actually started to learn how to lay things out in InDesign. So he has moved into the InDesign platform, and he's doing, the CTD in InDesign. So that's really cool. So kudos to you, Paul, for learning a new skill. Next is the card culture update. So let's ask the editor-in-chief. Things are good. We had 69 issues as of day before yesterday, and I hope you all downloaded it. You got to read Jay McKinstry's new article and everyone else's articles. It's been a great ride, and we foresee a lot more issues coming, so we hope that you enjoy. Okay, next is membership and publicity report. That would also be me. I wear a lot of hats in this club. I don't know if you know that. So here's something interesting. When we turned on our new site in April, we started to average about 25 new members a month. Think about that. For those of you who have been members for a long time, your jaw's probably dropped. Like we probably used to get 4 or 5 a month, and now we're averaging in the 20s, and that's awesome. That's a reflection of all of our hard work, our goals, our strategies. So board, pat yourselves on the back. Everyone that's helped make that a success, pat yourselves on the back. We've done an incredible job, and we still have a lot more work to do. I'm not saying that we're in first place and we're going to hang out, but what we're doing is working. Okay. Next is Club Deck 2020. We discussed the UCI deck. Believe it or not, the board didn't even see it. No one gets to see the deck, actually. I do. Bill does. Obviously, UCI does. But other than that, we keep that very quiet, just like the Diamond Award winners. We just don't want it to leak out. We want you to be just as surprised as you can be. And the same goes with the board. So we had the discussion about it, but they had to picture it in their head. They never got to see it. They saw it the night we launched it. And we were all very happy. We were honored to be able to work with UCI. That was a unanimous decision. Okay, next, we are reaffirming, here's one for you. If you're a new member, you didn't know this. Last year, we decided to join Kickstarter as a community, like as a 52 Plus Joker club, to support the Kickstarter community, the designers. We decided that would kill 2 birds with 1 stone. One, obviously, we want to show our love and support, but also it would help us seed future auctions with more modern decks. As you saw in the 114 lots, we had modern decks, but obviously it was definitely heavier in the antique world. So that was one of the ideas that was brought up last year. We decided we would do it, but obviously with COVID things, you're going to hear me say this a lot, things had to be put on hold. So we're just reaffirming again to the general membership that we will be joining Kickstarter. I think we've already joined, but we will start to participate in ways where we support artists and the fellow communities. So that's really cool. Don't put ones, but if I wanted you to, that's the part where you put ones. Okay, next, 2021 and 2022 convention locations. Obviously, this year we were supposed to be in Pittsburgh. Didn't work out. And the way that we work, especially Steve Bowling, because he's the spearhead, he's the genius behind all of this. Just like my team, he's that quiet killer in the back. You don't know how much work he puts in for this. He negotiates deals so well. Chef's kiss here. So thank you, Steve. He books out a year to 2 years in advance. So we had already signed our 2021 contract long before we decided to cancel our 2020 event. So next year, 2021, we will be in Niagara Falls, New York, in an incredible setup. The hotel, the restaurants, just everything around is top notch. You're going to love it. Obviously, the playing cards are going to be incredible, but the surrounding areas, just like if you were in Charlotte this last year, that was a great hotel. That was a wonderful setup. We were at a beautiful lake. Across the lake were these restaurants, and I've been told that it's almost very similar. It's really top notch. So that's 2021. 2022, you will be happy to know that we've made an agreement with the Pittsburgh hotel from this year that we have guaranteed that we're going to go back to that hotel in 2022, so that almost like we didn't miss a beat. That COVID, yeah, it stopped us, but not for long. So 2021, New York, 2022, Pittsburgh. Okay. Next, we have, so for some of our older members, you'll remember Clarence Peterson. He has dedicated his life to this club. He is a Dawson Award winner. He was recognized for all of his hard work, efforts, and energy. I don't know anyone other than Tom and Judy and Phil and Steve, just the original core, that love this club more than Clarence. Some of you know him as Denver Pete on eBay. Sadly, for the last few years, he wasn't able to join us because of family issues, but he's here in heart. So when we started to launch the digital convention concept with the board, he wrote me a really beautiful letter. He said he was so proud. He loved the trajectory of the club and what's happening, and he adores the website. And that made me very proud. But he wrote me also to say that it was time for him to step down. He had been working on the board long before I showed up, and I've been here about 11 years. I think maybe he's double that. Like it's been a long time. He's put in a lot of effort and energy, and so, like I say, he said that it was his time to step back. So we appreciate everything you've done. I know he's not watching, but if he gets to watch the replay, Clarence Peterson, thank you so much. We love you. We accept your resignation because we understand, and so we're going to the person who is replacing you has some serious shoes to fill. And that person is Dave Hoffmeister. And he's probably shaking his head right now. I can't see him or hear him, but I can assume he's like, yeah, I got some shoes to fill. So Dave Hoffmeister, congratulations, and thank you very much for doing your civic duty for the 52 plus Joker. Okay, the next thing we discussed was the 2020 virtual convention. And a lot of it was, I don't know how it's going to work. I mean, I hope it works. I hope things are cool. And so now I can say with confidence, yes, I think it worked. I think everything we planned and discussed for the last 60 days are a success. Some things obviously work better than others, and we certainly have a lot of work to do for next year. But yeah, I think we've opened Pandora's box, and it cannot be closed. Okay, another thing we discussed, a sub-item of that, was the virtual components that we will take from this and bring it to next year, right? If we're going to do a live event, obviously it's not going to be exactly the same as this, but what kind of virtual events will we have? And so I think that the agreement that came out of that was that we were going to study this one. We were going to look at what worked, what didn't work, and obviously we're going to take the things that work and try to improve the things that didn't work, or maybe just scrap it. But I think that we've got a very long list of things that worked and a very short list of things that didn't work. So the board has a lot of deciding to do. Okay, next was our auctions and auctioneers roll the futures. There was a lot of work this year with the auction. It was 114 lots, an average of 3 to 4 photos per lot. A lot of work. So I think what the decision was is that we would need more help for next year. So I'm gonna put it out here. This is a general call here. If you are a member, you've been part of the club, or you've just joined and you really feel passionate about this, we are looking for visionaries. And we would love to work with you, to hear your ideas. I don't have a spot open on the board, so I'm not offering that, but I'm certainly opening my door. You have a direct line to your president, to your El Presidente. And if you have ideas, thoughts, whatever you got, my door is open. I will listen to everything you have to say and then some, okay? And so if you have ideas about how you want to help the auction or what we can do in the future, and listen, there's a lot of great ideas, and they might not be great ideas for specifically for this. So you might please understand that we're not going to take all the ideas, but I'm going to listen to all the ideas, okay? I want to hear every idea you got. We're going to actually send out like a questionnaire after all of this, and you'll be able to maybe put some of that in there. And then if you want to add additional thoughts, you know how to get a hold of the president. Direct line. You have a direct line. Okay. Next is the club deck artist selection for 2021. Now, I'm not going to list names. We're going to keep that quiet for now, right? That's something that we like to announce next year. But do know that we have made a list, and we've checked it twice, and Santa Claus is coming. Doesn't matter. I mean, if obviously our first choice is out of control, but everyone on the list is top-notch and deserves to be in that lineage of all of the artists that have come before them. So know that we are working hard on the 2021 club deck. You're going to love it. Okay. Next up was the Dawson and Diamond Awards. Now, you should know that we had a successful voting season this year. Actually, it was the most successful voting season we've had, and we do have winners, and there will be a Dawson Award. As you know, the Diamond Awards, the Deck of the Year and the Artist of the Year, are chosen by the membership. You get a ballot. Actually, what happens is, I'll give you the full breakdown. There's a committee. There's a Diamond Awards committee. It's headed by Don Boyer, and there's a lot of people on that committee, all different, makes and models. We have the antiques, the vintage, and the modern collectors. We have hybrid collectors. Everyone sits on the committee, and they discuss, or they have a list of all of the decks that released between a certain date last year. And I'd like to thank Pip Chick. She personally put together that list, and you've got to understand how much work that is. Like, there are so many releases coming out every day, and now make a list for a year, a lot of work. So thank you very much. She sits on the Diamond Award Committee as well. So the committee puts together the nominees, because if we handed you this list of hundreds of decks, it's like going to the Cheesecake Factory, right? It takes you an hour to order. So no, it's the dollar menu at McDonald's. We give you a handful, and then you get to choose, right? So they break down the nominations, and then they hand you a ballot, and you get to vote. So this is for new members, by the way. You probably missed it if you just joined yesterday. But you get a ballot, you vote, and then, like I say, the membership speaks. It's very much like the Academy Awards. So the membership is spoken. We do have a Deck of the Year, and we have an Artist of the Year. Now, the Dawson Award is slightly different. The Dawson Award is our highest honor. There is no honor that we can bestow upon you that is greater than the Dawson Award. And that is handpicked by Judy Dawson herself. She basically makes the decision, and the board facilitates the process. And so this year, and we don't actually give it out every year. That's one of the things. It has worked out like that we've given one out every year. So this year she made the decision that, yes, she will be handing a Dawson Award out. And that will happen tonight at the Diamond Awards. And I hope you all dress up. We're going to turn on cameras. You better be wearing tuxedos. Okay, next. Oh, I'm sorry. We have a sub-discussion about the Dawson and Diamond Awards. Not so much the Dawson Awards, but more about the Diamond Awards. We discussed adding a fourth category. And we've kind of volleyed this around for a few years. And every year we kind of table it because we don't have a great idea. We don't necessarily want to start adding a lot of categories because we don't want to dilute, the honor of the award, right? It makes sense. So we did have a discussion about adding the fourth category this year, and we decided that we are going to add a fourth category. And we're still volleying around, and I have a note here, but I don't remember if we were going to talk about it or not. So, and I'm not looking at the chat. So I'm just gonna say no. I'm not going to announce it because we would like to make a real grandiose, impression when we announce it. But know this: we are adding a fourth award, and it will lean more toward antique and vintage. That's really as much as I want to say out loud, right? We really want to. We're doing so much for the modern. We obviously won't want to give the same equal platform to the antique and vintage as well. So I know that some of the antique members have voiced this concern, and I've heard you, and you're right, and we are fixing that. We're working in the future to make that better. So thank you again for your understanding and your patience. Okay, next up would be the general website discussion. I mean, there's not much to talk about. It's pretty spiffy. I like it. Obviously, the website that was built in April was not built with this in mind, right? There had to be a lot of retrofitting. We had to like really move on the fly. And I would like to take this opportunity right now to single out and spotlight Brian Sarlo. You, sir, are my guardian angel. You've heard me say this multiple times. I'm not blowing smoke, man. You really have put me at ease. I mean, there's so many moving parts to this, and to worry about the website and all of that, you've taken that off my mind. So thank you. You're a new member. Everyone, don't throw ones, but in spirit, throw ones. We'll throw ones for him in a moment. Okay. So yeah, basically the website, we're going to actually, now that we've done all of this, we're going to probably go sit down, hopefully with Brian Sarlo, and look at how we can improve things, how we will approach it for next year, what we are going to add or take away or change. You know, we had the ability to possibly have a company run the auction for us. That was one of the things we discussed early on, Steve, Larry, and I. So after seeing what we saw this year, you know, that's not off the table. So we're going to discuss all of that, and we're going to have a big discussion. And so next year, our web, it's not our presence, but I want to say our web stamina will be much stronger. Okay. I have come to the end of all of our items. I'm now going to go look in the chat room if we have any questions. Give me a moment. Let me just open my chat room back up here. Okay. If you have started asking questions, I got to scroll up. I don't see. I see a lot of kind words. Thank you, guys. It's my pleasure to do this. It really is. You know, there wasn't a single person that wanted to see and be in Pittsburgh more than I was. You know, for some of the older members realize there was a couple of years where I couldn't be there because I was immigrating to Canada, and Canada wouldn't allow me to cross the border. So I had to watch from afar as all of you had a great time and partied, and I had to live vicariously through tweets, man. It sucked. But and then there were times where I was in China, I was doing work, and I couldn't be there. And so trust me, there wasn't a single person that wanted to be in Pittsburgh more than I was. But I also, at the same time, you know, being on the board, like, we have to make kind of magnanimous decisions. You know, we didn't want anyone to get sick. You know, whether you could get sick or not, that's not the argument. We wanted to guarantee the safety of every single person. I'd rather be known as the president who made the worst decision than the president who killed off half the membership. Okay, that's what I was telling the board. So I'm telling that to you now, full transparency. Again, there wasn't a single person that wanted to be there, but we had to make the call. It's about safety. So believe it or not, I think we had a silver lining in that cloud. And I think that you're all seeing it. We are together. I mean, you might not be physically in front of me, but I can hear you. I can see you. You can hear me. You can see me. I can see your cards. We can see Joe Pearson's cards. This was incredible. And it's done things for us that we weren't able to do at a live event. For instance, Eddie and Sam are usually at the convention. So one of them would have had to have stayed behind to be able to film that, right? So we wouldn't have been able to do it like that if we were live. So really, this has been a silver lining. Okay, I'm going to start reading questions here. Okay. Yes, Daniel, the Canadian border is closed right now. So if we did hold a live convention, Jay McKinistry, me, Jason Rideout, Scott Cruz, Judy and Jennifer Dawson, none of us would have been able to come. They're just not, well, I would have been able to come. I have a U.S. passport. Can't stop me from coming. But it would have been difficult, right? I would have had to have quarantined in. I would have quarantined out. It's a lot. So this has worked out well. Like, the cards we were dealt, I think we turned it into a pretty good hand. Okay. That's right. Like, technology lives halfway around the world. So to be able to come and be part of this, that's why I said this is the silver lining. Okay. Patty Alexander would say, we'd love to see quarterly Zoom events. Patty, I told the people in the chat room last night, there was a discussion about that. Can we brainstorm ideas that give me less work? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't want to say anything right now. I have in my closing remarks, I want to leave you with some chills and some, some goosebumps. So I'm not going to say anything right now, but yeah, you all know where we're headed. You all know where we're headed. We'll talk about that. Okay, convention dates for 2021. I don't have them in front of me, Kristen. I apologize. It's probably going to be around the same time. We're usually in mid-October. Um, I don't know if we're going to run over Canadian Thanksgiving. I don't have it in front of me. I apologize. Maybe Steve Bowling will have the dates. And at the end of the meeting, we might turn on mics. And if he can come on and tell us, great. If not, obviously, we're going to start promoting it. Not right now. I need to take about a week's worth of sleep, but soon. Okay. Yes. Let's see. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people that would like to volunteer. Great. Do me a favor. Email me, lee@leeasher.com. And let's talk. Like I say, I'm open. I'm listening. I would love to hear your thoughts. I might come back at you and show you and tell you about a perspective that you might not have thought about, right? Because sometimes we have ideas, but we don't know how the bigger picture is or how the things operate. But I'm really happy to explain that to you. Like I say, full transparency. We're not hiding a thing here. This isn't like magic, right? I know the magicians are shaking their head and laughing right now. This is so opposite from a magic convention or any kind of magic get-together. And you know what's funny is I tell people, the best way I describe it, especially to my magician friends, I say at a magic convention, you meet magicians, you're going to have to wait all night to see their best stuff. And you'll be lucky if you get that. At a playing card convention, it's the first thing they want to show you. And that's the clearest way I can describe the differences. Okay. Will Jason's talk and Joseph's tour be uploaded somewhere? Absolutely. Like I said, we've been recording. If you look at the upper left corner of your screen, you will see the word recording. We've been recording to the cloud. My initial plan was to be able to post up day one as soon as day one was done. That could not happen. Obviously, we're rendering to the cloud. So we were going to bed at 2, 3 in the morning here, and I get an email when it's done rendering. It doesn't get done until like mid-morning the next morning, and we're in the middle of it, right? So I made the executive decision that, yes, of course they're going to get posted, but it'll be after the convention. You're going to have to give us a little bit of time. Keith Brown and I were discussing last night, do we just drop all 9 hours in each day, or do we cut it up? Do we make it sexy? And obviously, you know the answer. So it's going to take us a little bit, but I promise you it will be up. Okay. Oh, there we go. Yes, the scholarship award in designing. Thank you. Actually, you know what? That was one of my items, and I just skipped over it. I apologize. Excuse me. I would like to reaffirm to the club that we are going to continue doing our work to support new designers. The idea, and again, we talked about it last year. We agreed we would do it, and then it kind of stopped because of the website and COVID, and there was just a lot of moving parts that were happening. So it became secondary. But the goal is to find new young designers and help them, connect them with more, I want to say, seasoned professional designers. For instance, like some designer who's never done a deck but understands graphic design, and we connect them with Paul Carpenter. We connect them with Jackson. We connect them with Alex, Lance. Like, we have a plethora of artists who have all said they'd be honored to do that. And so the idea is to facilitate that. And again, we don't have exacts, but one of the ideas is that we would facilitate that by obviously connecting them, but by paying for a year's worth of their Adobe account, right? You need Illustrator, you need Photoshop, you need these tools, these programs, and they're not cheap, especially if you're a young and upcoming designer. And so I see old designers, of course, old designers, Karen, any designers. The idea, I meant young as in you haven't designed before, not necessarily your age. We want to support that. We really believe in that. The more of that, the more playing cards. The more playing cards, the bigger our collections. The bigger our collections, the bigger the house. So you can see that it's like a domino effect. So we would love to facilitate that, to make that happen. Okay, let me see what else we got in here. And thank you, Brent. I appreciate you bringing that up and reminding me about that. Let's see. And by the way, I'm just going to check my time. I know that we are going to go visit Phil Bolhagen's collection at 5 o'clock. Okay, so we have an hour. I don't think that this will last an hour, obviously. But I do want to keep taking questions. And then what I would like to do, and I don't know how this is going to work, but I would like to ask you if you want to unmute your mic and speak, ask questions, because I'm going to open the floor to the general. And I would, please, members only. If you're a non-member, I don't think we have enough time. This is really, like, if you were at the convention and you were a non-member, you probably wouldn't be able to come to this. Obviously, we love you. We want you to see, take a peek inside of what we do. So I'm just going to keep this, so, for time. Non-members, thank you. You want to email me? I'll listen for sure. But members, we're going to ask you if you'd like to unmute your mic, and then we're going to give you the floor. Okay, so let me see here. Let me just check to make sure if you have any questions. My chat has frozen. So I assume you guys are blowing up the chat with great questions. Let me see here. No, my chat's frozen. Oh, wait. It's moving. Could we talk panels for rising trends of playing for reviewing? There's much styles and platforms and YouTube blogs. Yeah, of course. TED, technology. This is your first event. I know that you've been a member of the club for about a year now. Last year, we had panel talks. And it doesn't happen every year, but what we like to do is we like to get a sampling of the community, collectors, designers, manufacturers, speculators, and we sit them down on a panel and we ask questions. And we want to hear about the trends. We want to know where things are going. We want to see and hear about those insights. And it's usually great. And I thought about doing a panel this year, and it was certainly on my things of, hey, we could do this. And what happened was there was too much other stuff, right? Like the schedule's jam-packed. So, and if you think about it, most 52 plus Joker conventions are 3 days long, right? There was a time where we were doing 2-day conventions, and then we bumped it back up to a 3-day. If this was a 4-day. So I felt like, if I had to cut something, let it be the panel, because I knew at night we would turn on everyone's cameras and you would have that discussion, and that would just kind of happen naturally. But yeah, next year, it's back in my list, and I hope that it stays. Okay. Daniel Wilson is asking, virtual con as well as a live con, maybe spring. Daniel, again, let's brainstorm ideas that give me less work. No, I'm kidding. I don't have anything specific to tell you right now about it, because the board still has to meet and discuss how this went. But yeah, you're all on the nose. We're headed in that direction. Like I say, Pandora's box is open. Okay. Let's see. I have Poker Texas Hold'em presentation from Poker Tournament next year. Yeah, Karen, if anyone wants to present next year, please get a hold of me. That's how the presenters. I hand selected a lot of presenters this year. I had a vision this year. I don't know if you could tell, but usually, when we have presenters, like Kevin Raylick, for instance, contacted me a couple of years ago and asked if he could talk, and I said okay. And I usually book out a year in advance, or at least try to start filling things in about a year in advance. So I said to Kevin, all right, 2020, man, that's your time. Pittsburgh, it's going to be great. And then I had to make that fateful call of, Kevin, we're not having the convention, but we're going to do it virtually. Could you make a video? And that's how it started. That was the snowball effect. And all of our lectures, all of our collection visits, all of our factory visits, just fantastic. These guys have been so terrific. Like I said today, Joe Pearson, his internet didn't work at one of our Zoom tests. And what were we going to do, right? You want to see that collection in buffered at like 15 frames per second? No, you want to see that in beautiful, high definition. And so he really stepped up. He rose to the occasion. He got Jeff. They filmed it. They edited it. They put it together. Like that's the amount of work that has gone into this convention, right? Like this is the love and the passion that everyone has for playing cards, and it's really special. And again, I'm trying very hard not to say the things that I've written for my final remarks. And by the way, I just want to be real honest here. I might cry in the closing remarks. Like there's a piece in there. I'm tearing up right now. Yeah, so don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me. Okay, let me get more questions. Next year, Q&As, next year's draw. Lee does a magic show. Daniel Wilson, again, you need to jam ideas, less work. Less work, buddy. I am the president. Yeah, thank you. For those that don't know, I've been on the board actually my first year, just like Brian Sarlo. I showed up and I'm like, yeah. There's a whole modern thing going on over here. And they're like, There is? Okay, you need to be on the board. We need your help. And I was honored. Tom asked me, would you help? Yeah, of course, of course. And it's been great ever since. And sadly, when Tom passed away, I was taking over presidency anyway. I'll tell you a funny story since we have a few minutes. Uh, Tom asked me for years if I'd be president, and I always said no, no, no. I'd rather be vice president. I'm quiet. I'm in the shadows. No one talks to me. No one emails me. I get to do things. I get stuff done. You're the one in the crosshairs. And we went to dinner one night, and he said to me, I have a present because my birthday's in the summer. He said, a present for you for your birthday, but I'm not going to give it to you until you say yes. I went, what am I agreeing to? He said, no, no, no. No, I'm not going to tell you. I just need you to say yes. And I could see in his face, he was being sincere, and okay, yes. And he proceeded to hand me one of those Triton mirrors from New York Consolidated Card Company. I'd bought one on eBay and it arrived smashed, and I was all bummed out about it. And Tom gave me his from his personal collection. And he's like, here, this is your gift. Happy birthday. And you've just agreed to be president of the club. So, okay. And then, like I say, sadly, when he passed away, I took over presidency several months earlier than I should have. And talking about filling shoes, Dave Hoffmeister filling Clarence's shoes, I am standing in the biggest shoes ever. Like, so again, I'm tearing up, but I don't want to get into that. That's my final remarks. Let me read more questions. Let's see here. Can you open Karen Strauss's mic and cam? Not at the moment. I will. We're going to request that in a moment. Don't send me private messages, guys. It's flying, so I'm not going to be able to see it. I just want to answer. We'll open the floor in a moment. I just want to answer questions right now. I want to try to get as much of that out of the way as possible. Let's see here. I just see magic shows. Really? You guys have watched me talk for 4 days. You want to see more? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Lee, I need one of those certificates you acquired on eBay. Yeah, well, hang on. You know what? I haven't had time to even look at eBay. And Jason Kinistry, we talk all the time, and he's like, you should see what's on eBay right now. And I'm like, you should see the lower thirds I'm buried in. You should see these videos we're trying to animate. I don't have time, man. But as soon as this is over, I'm going to sleep, and then I'll definitely get back to checking out eBay. Okay. Karen Strauss asks how many members we have right now. I believe we are, you know what? I haven't looked within the last 4 days, but I see them coming in. They're coming in like water. They're flowing. We're probably up at the 500 mark, probably, up there or above there. When I first joined, we had a couple hundred members, and it ebbs and flows, right? We're constantly fighting natural attrition, whether it be people just deciding they don't want to collect cards anymore or people passing away. So that was always the hard number to try to beat every year. Like we're fighting it constantly. And now we're at a point where, we've got more momentum. Things are growing. We've got that traction. And so, like I say earlier, our website, we're averaging 20 plus people per month. Not bad. Okay. Let's see here. Lee, do we have a market to Facebook card pages? I don't understand the question. We have a Facebook account, yes. Facebook. Do we market on Facebook? Do we run Facebook ads and stuff like that? We can, obviously, and the club has discussed it. And yeah, here's the thing. There's a million ideas, right? There's a million ideas, and obviously the board has a million ideas, but there's only so many people to execute. And so what ends up happening is we kind of look at priority, and the things that are not so priority, like the secondary things, kind of get pushed to the side. And the thing with this year, and here's the deal with this year, trust me, I wanted to get the marketing started 2 months ago, but I didn't know who was on the bill. I didn't know who was going to come through. I didn't know what our time periods were going to be. I didn't know any of that until almost the last moment. So our marketing got started really late this year, really late. And I knew it. I knew it in my heart. And I know that if we started earlier, we'd have more people. Obviously, we'd have more members. It just became, there was only 24 hours in a day, and there was only so many of us to execute. Steve was busy with the auction, and it was just, there was a lot of moving parts. So obviously, I put the call out. My door is open. If you'd like to help in these kinds of areas, by all means, let's have that conversation. take some of these things off of my plate, please. When you open your CD, don't you see a, hi, this is Lee Asher, I'm the president. And then you say, hi, this is Lee Asher, I'm head of membership. And then you say, hi, I'm Lee Asher, this is head of marketing. Please, please, please take some of this off my plate, please. Okay. Yes, the club does have a Facebook group. If someone could drop that Facebook link in the forum. And you know what? This morning I realized I didn't post the 4th day to Facebook, so I'm sorry. Would you consider the taping or even streaming the talks at future live conventions for people around the world? Yes, Tom. Yeah, we've been talking about that a lot. One of the things, it doesn't stop us, but it certainly is an obstacle, is that we would have to get everyone that gives the talk to agree, right? It's their property, it's their talk. I'm from the magic world, I'm from that industry. Like if you film my act and put it on TV, we have to have a conversation about that. So it's kind of, I feel the same way for them, even though some of these, like Jay McKinstry, he's not a professional performer in that sense. I mean, that was a hell of a performance, but I would give him that that ability, right? I'd want him to say yes or no. So it's up to each of the lectures. And lectures, if you're listening, I am going to come around. I am going to ask you if we can post up. And what we would probably do is we'd like to post up the individual clips so that, like, you can get right to Joe Pearson's collection, or right to Jason McKinstry, or right to Rory or Patrick, or any one of our incredible talks. Okay. Yes, we also have a forum. It used to be called Aether Cards. We took that over in 2014. That was part of Tom Dawson's vision. And it's called playingcardforum.com. You can click the link right there and you should be good to go. Okay. Let's see here. What else do we have? A booth at most of the larger Magic conventions might be an idea. Hey, listen, if the club would love to pay for the president to go hang out at Magic conventions that he's not working, he won't say no. Yeah, when it comes to spending money on advertising and stuff, to send someone to a convention that has a limited number of people with an expensive cost, registration in Playing Cardville and registration in Magicville are two different prices. Magic tends to be a little more expensive. So to send someone out there to pay for registration, to pay for their travel, to pay for their food, and obviously we could get members to go out, yeah, but to pay for the booth, these are costs. And so can we spend that money? Can we allocate that money in a smarter way? That's always one of the questions that my treasurer asks me when I decide that I want to spend money like it's raining. And so, yeah, the answer is, in those situations, because we're doing, like, our membership is online and we're doing online components, maybe spending that money in the online realm might be a smarter way to go about it. I'm not against it. I'm not against that conversation. Russell, if you want to contact me and have that conversation, by all means, let's talk. I would love to talk about it. Okay, let's see here. Jackson says Google Ads would be better return. Of course, right. It's just, you think about the flow, right? Back in the day, you had to physically send $25 to Steve Bowling. Now you click a button. And so the easier we can make it, like click, 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 oh, you're a member, right? And so I think that the allocation of marketing dollars is better spent that way, or at least the majority of that marketing dollar gets spent that way, would probably be a better purchase. Okay, let's see here. What else we got? Yeah, look, if you're going to be at Magic conventions, by all means, tell the world, and let me know. Like, I'm not against having a booth at a Magic convention. It's just that we have to keep those costs low. As Don said, we would have to have a high return on our investment. Like that ROI would have to be 3-4 times the amount of money we spend. And remember, we're only $25 per membership. So, and if it's going to cost us $1,000, right? And so, like I say, we have to look at how to allocate those dollars in the smartest way. Like we have liquid. We're good. We're all right. We're not going anywhere anytime soon. But at the same time, we're not like the Rockefellers. We can't be tipping the doorman $100 every time. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, we could certainly share space. Again, I'm not against any of this, Tommy. Please open a dialogue with me. Let's talk about it. Let's see. Yeah. CardCon Expo partnership. Yeah, Dan, contact me. Let's discuss it. Again, I'm not saying yes. This is not a blanket yes to anything that anyone sends me. All right. But I am telling you that what is a yes is that I will. Do I have time for you? Yes. Contact me. Okay. Lee@leeasher.com. Okay, what else can we do here? Being in Europe, didn't follow all of the convention. And if I didn't see it, will the presentation be available online? Peter, yes, they will. Yes, they will. Um, we decided early on that we would show every day after the day, but it became like logistically, it became too difficult. So what's going to happen is after the convention's over, we're going to go through and edit some of the footage and kind of chop it up. We might just give you a direct feed so you can watch all 9 hours, but the chances of people sitting in front of their computer for 9 hours straight. So we want to give it to you in bite-sized pieces, like little pieces of appetizers, hors d'oeuvres, if you will, with the little toothpicks and the wrapping of bacon. Delicious. Okay. Jay Rideout says, any chance of a bicycle branded club deck? It's a great question, man. We've definitely, batted the idea around. I think that you have to bring that up with the head of our playing card division. That's Bill Kalush. So send those ideas to him. Okay, what else we got here? Any more questions? Do we have any more questions, guys? Any more questions? I'm going to wait a couple of seconds. Is New Orleans a consideration for 2023? We had a convention in New Orleans. It was really cool. I really enjoyed that. Let me think about this. It was 2010. I'm gonna put it out there. 2010. Just someone check the website. See if I'm right. That's memory. I haven't slept in 60 days, but my memory is like a steel trap. Let's see here. Yeah, I would love to go back to New Orleans. I have family in New Orleans, so my vote is yes. But again, if you have ideas of where you'd like the convention to be, please contact Steve Bowling. By the way, all of these names that I'm mentioning out loud, they're all on the website. You just go to the contact and you'll see like each one of our email addresses is there. But I will say this. A lot of people have been asking, when can we get back to the West Coast? And I said the same. I said this last year, and I have to say it again this year. And Don Boyer put a map up last year so we could see where all of our members reside. And it's clear the majority of our membership resides to the East Coast and a little bit to the West, into the West Coast, or excuse me, the Midwest. But we have not so strong of a membership on the West Coast. And we have been out several times. We've been to San Francisco, we've been to Denver, Las Vegas, and those usually end up being some of our least attended events. And so again, I mean, we're working our asses off here, and when people just don't show up, we take it personally. I know we shouldn't, but we take it personally. And so what it really is it's just that it's a reflection of that we don't have enough West Coast members yet, but that's changing. And with your help, obviously that will change faster. So if you have friends on the West Coast that would need in this club, you let them know. Okay. All right, let's see. Oh, well, guys, it's flying, guys, in my chat room. Okay, so let me see here. So, okay, I got New Orleans, new artist segment for next year. Yes, I announced that earlier. We are working on a 2021. I'm not going to announce names, but just know the list is chef's kiss. Okay, what's next? Man, my chat is going so slow. How's your chat doing, Keith or John? Can you read some questions for me? I just read Darren Mann's question. So who's after Darren Mann? He asked about the new artist segment. How many members are outside the U.S. compared with U.S. members? I don't have that so the question was how many U.S. members and European members or Asian members. I don't have those stats in front. I apologize. Maybe you can ask Don. Don's one of the helpers in the chat. He put together a map last year. He's kept it up to date. But that would give us a good idea. Obviously, we have the majority of our membership in the Americas, but certainly we've been growing our Asian contingency as well as our European contingency. Okay. Club decks are a great way of advertising towards the wire playing card community. Bruce Jackson's deck that got him wondering what the heck is 50 plus Joker. How can they have these cool decks? It'd be cool club deck to have a club only deck and a standardized annual deck in cooperation with USBCC, limited to 3,000, sold mainly retailers around the world. I'll tell you, I'll catch playing card collectors all over the world. It seems like you've thought about this a lot, Ted. Do me a favor. Let's open a dialogue. Let's have that conversation, okay? Can we rename the Diamond Club Chef's Kiss? No, but we're going to have T-shirts made, and Stutzman's going to illustrate it. And by the way, can you guys hear Keith in my microphone? Or I'll repeat the questions if you can't hear, Keith. There you go. Okay, he's going to turn his mic on. It's easier that way.
Hello, everyone.
Downtown Keith Brown, ladies and gentlemen.
What question? What other countries are represented with this Zoom presentation? So far, what countries have we had, Lee?
Are you talking about people in the chat or the actual presenters? I assume you mean the chat?
That was a question by Phil Bullhagen.
Ah, okay. Well, Phil, the majority of our presenters, I believe, are in the Americas, in the United States. We do have a presenter in the Diamond Awards tonight, all the way from Germany. I won't tell you who. That's a surprise. And let me think about this. Who else did we talk to? The thing about setting this up, I'll tell you what, Phil, this was one of the hardest things for me was the schedule, right? You got to think about it. Normally at a convention, we're live, we're all in the same room, we're in the same time zone. But because we're spread out all over, I had to figure out a way to make it work, right? Because there are people that work, so that means they couldn't talk till after 5 p.m. Roy Rennick is a great example. So I had to book him a little later in the night. And what wound up happening was anything that I planned, like I'll tell you what one of my ideas was, to be able to take like a tour of the Fournier factory, like Javier, the CEO of Fournier, like I know him. So I was going to ask him if he could take his phone and walk us around Fournier, and how cool would that be? Or maybe even ask him to go over to the museum and film some. But the way that would happen was it would be too late at night. You got to think about the time differences, right? And so we would have to have done it really early in the morning. And again, I had to be conscious and cognizant of my West Coast members. So this was a really hard one for me. And I apologize that we don't have more European influence or more Asian influence at this convention for that reason. But maybe things will change in the future. As far as the chat, though, it was pretty international. I mean, you have people from Australia, you have people from China, you have people from America, Canada, Europe, all over. This is an international affair. Okay, next question. No more questions? I'll wait 60 more seconds and then we'll open up floor. I'll yield the floor.
We have a question from Scott. Who manages the 52 Plus Joker social media accounts? Is that all Lee too? I encourage more members to spread the word about 52 Plus Joker on social media because it is cheap advertising.
Okay, so I don't know who asked that question. That's a very good question. Scott Cruz. Thank you very much, Scott Cruz, for asking that question. So we have several accounts. We have a Facebook, we have an Instagram, we have a Twitter, but it's pretty dead. We don't have a TikTok. That'd be cool. We don't have a TikTok, but that would be cool. So Instagram is run by Harry Wastrack. He posts up maybe once a week. He has some really informative posts. They're really cool. Anytime you saw any of the convention posts going up, that was me. Like that was me in the mornings. I had to get the word out, right? Like you guys saw the first piece of marketing, other than the decking around stuff that went out. And again, guys, thank you so much. You were wonderful. Other than that, like the first piece of marketing went out. I don't know. It was a video of me asking if I invited you personally to a convention, would you come? And like that was the first time I had the ability to actually release the marketing. That's how busy we got. So Harry Wastrack runs the Instagram and the Facebook. Lance Miller is an administrator. Tina Wade Baker was also an administrator, but asked that she be removed. And so I'm an administrator just so that we have the board. Someone on board has control. And also Kevin Sini is an administrator. And every once in a while, Kevin will post up. But again, all the convention stuff, the auction stuff, that was me. So that's, again, another hat that I wear. So if this is your world, you know how to do this, and you're really good at it, please contact me. Let's have that conversation. Let's take some of this stuff off my plate. Okay, any other questions? Again, my chat's frozen. I still see Kevin Raylick's question about New Orleans. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, let me do that. Let me close my chat. Okay, no, you know what? My chat's not even closing. Oh, there we go. Okay. Nope, that didn't work, Keith. But that's okay. I don't need to see my chat. So now we still have about 25, 30 minutes, but I don't want it to take that long, okay? I just want members only. Please request to open your camera and your mic, and I will open the floor to you. And let's please keep this club related. This is not a time to talk about the decks you have for sale, or, I mean, you could certainly tell us what a wonderful job we're doing. We'll don't applaud, just throw money. We'll take some of that. But please, let this be club, this, just like we were at a general meeting at the convention, same thing. I'm going to open the floor. So if you would like your microphone and your video to be unmuted, please drop in the chat room. We've got both of my stream techs here. They're going to go ahead and let me know when we've done that.
Hello.
Okay. Hello, Karen Strauss.
Hi. You have done a fantastic job, and
Thank you.
all your aides and helpers and behind the scenes people, it's incredible. I don't know how
Thank you.
you got it all done.
Can we get some ones in the chat room now? Let's
Yeah.
put some ones in there.
It was really great. But I want to talk about the poker game that we won't be able to have this year.
Yes.
There's
So can
no
I,
way
wait,
to
before
do
you
that.
say anything, we tried. Let me tell you, we tried. Jason Rideout and Justy, we discussed how that would work. And it just became a little too logistical for us, you know, with all the stuff that was happening. So, but please know we tried. So go ahead.
Well, here's the
Yeah.
plaque from last year
Yeah.
and my husband won, and he got his name engraved as per the rules.
Now, is he a member?
Yeah, I see somebody's name on there.
Yeah. That's my award.
Yeah, well, you got to come back and get it.
And to be fair, you'd see my name, but none of you let me play poker with you. I don't know why.
Well, next year I'm going to win.
Okay.
So that was fun.
Karen, do you have anything club related other than the poker tournaments to talk about?
Me?
Ah,
Karen.
no, me. uh, these talks were incredible because they were so logical, so clear. I took pages and pages of notes because I got to go back and watch the video to watch what really happened. This has been so exciting. I haven't been able to sleep either, or not
Me
much.
neither. But for different reasons. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate your kind words. Thank you.
I don't know what talents I have that could fit in with things you need, but we could have a talk of like that sometime.
You know how to get a hold of me. Lee at leeasher.com, or just go to leeasher.com
Mhm.
and hit my contact form, and all roads lead to Rome.
Okay, great. Well,
Thank
thank
you,
you very
Karen.
much. See you soon,
Okay.
everybody.
Who are we turning on next? Okay. Bill, we're turning you on live here. Let's see if we can ask him to unmute his mic.
You speaking to me, Lee?
I'm speaking. Are you speaking to me? I'm speaking
Talking
to
to
you.
me?
Yes, sir.
What can I do for you?
I don't know. Did you request to turn your mic on?
No. It was
Okay, well then let's turn your mic. Thank you. Let's turn your mic back off. Who's requesting to turn their mic and camera on? Harry. There you go. Let's unmute you, Harry. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Okay. You mentioned that I'm doing the Instagram.
Yes, sir. And thank you for that.
I need people to give me material. 99% of what goes on our Instagram, I make up myself. And I would certainly appreciate somebody else contributing like they do for the newsletter and like they do for the card culture, because I'm running out of stuff.
Okay, so you heard it from Harry's lips himself. If you have content that you'd like to hand, Harry, please, how do they get a hold of you? Through the Instagram account, obviously.
Yeah, well, you can
52
do it
plus
through
Joker,
Instagram.
right? We're at
but-
52 plus Joker.
Yeah, you can use my email, hwashtrack@verizon.net.
And you can find that email if you go to the contact page
Yeah.
at 52plusjoker.org. It's
Yeah.
listed. All of the board members are listed there. That's how you can get a hold of us.
Yes, so just if you have something visual, Instagram is good for visual, but I can put in a little text below too, but that's kind of
Harry.
limited.
Let me ask you a question. Are you ready to run the TikTok account?
I have no idea what TikTok is.
You're perfect for it. This is perfect.
No, Instagram keeps me busy because I contribute stuff to the newsletter. I contribute stuff to card culture every now and then.
You do. You had an article this month.
Yeah, and it was kind of timely. Tommy had shown us he had the Pannonia deck, and I wanted to butt in and say, "Hey, Tommy, that's a Pannonia deck," but I didn't know if it was going to
That's
be.
how I knew it was Hungarian made, because I
Yeah.
literally just laid it out. I saw it. Oh, I know that deck.
Anyway, so that's the information he might have wanted if he didn't.
Harry, do you have any other comments, questions, or thoughts about?
No, I'll be sending you a note later
Okay.
with my observations of this whole thing. But boy, oh
Kind, be
boy,
kind.
did you do a fantastic job on this. I'm so
Thank you.
thoroughly impressed.
Thank you.
So yeah,
Okay. Okay.
I'm
so
good.
if you don't have anything else, then we're gonna mute your mic
I'm just
and camera.
just a solicitation for help.
Okay. Yeah. If you can help Harry, please contact him through the Instagram or go to the club website and click on Harry Wastrak, and that'll take you directly to his inbox. Okay. Who do we have up next? Oh,
Hi.
hello, my friend. Nice to actually meet you.
Hi, I'm happy to, and thank you for letting me into this convention to speak into this member area. I was just asking if you have a volunteer program, I don't know, maybe a volunteer director who takes care of the people who want to help, because coordinating the effort can be a problem, or let's say, an issue in itself. Maybe you have a lot of members who want to help, and I would like to help too. I did something similar for another club I was into the playing card words, and that thing didn't end very well. But I'm open to help people. I just want to know if you are thinking to organize that with some kind of volunteer director or something like that.
I am now. It sounds like you have the job, sir. Please contact me. Contact me, lee@leasher.com. Let's have that conversation. That would be wonderful. I really appreciate that. And especially someone of your caliber, sir.
Oh,
Like I'm a fan. I'm fanboying right now. I'm fanboying. This is great.
thank you.
Thank you. Please reach out. I would love to have that conversation.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Is that it? Do you have anything else? Nope. Okay. All right. So who is next? Is that it? I mean, we'll wait a couple of more seconds. If you would like to unmute your mic and camera and you have club business to talk about, we'd love to open your camera and mic and have a conversation quickly. Anybody? Oh, I see Kevin Sini wants to open his mic. There you go. Hello, sir.
What's going on, Mr. Lee?
Doing all right? How you doing?
All right. I'm doing good and getting ready for the table spotlight tonight.
Ah, that's right. I forgot that was even happening.
No, you didn't. You knew it was.
No.
As most of us, we got a lot of people on Instagram, and some people do the YouTube stuff. I kind of want to throw it out there to some of the antique collectors. I know I'm more of a younger antique collector, even at 45. But I'd like to
day
see
over
some
30.
Huh? Yeah, my hair says otherwise. I'd like to see some more of the antique collectors kind of get on Instagram and kind of get that out. There's maybe less than 10 of us that are very active.
So, okay, let me ask you this, because this I love that you're saying that, but let's look at the reality of the situation. Some antique collectors are older than we are, and that's okay, right? But that also means that they are sometimes tech challenged. Mm-hmm. And I know this because I had to tech a lot of people to make sure that they could just get on Zoom. And I have to be honest, man. And Jackson Robinson, he'll laugh. Him and Alex will laugh their asses off when I say this. At last year's convention, I just joined Instagram January 1 this year. But last year at the convention, I wanted to do an Instagram live. I had no idea how to go live. I had no idea how to, like, excuse me, I'm having a brain fart. The software, the user, the UX is what they call it, but the user
interface.
Thank you. The interface is not friendly. Certainly not friendly to people my age. So I can't imagine it being friendly for someone in their 60s or 70s or 80s or So here's my thought. Would you be willing to help them do that? Because I think that's one of the ways that if you want that to happen, that's what you're going to have to do. Is you're going to have to be very patient with people and and have a very, empathetic approach to teaching them how to do that. I was joking last night actually that, it took a while to teach like my relatives how to use the internet. And I mean, there were times where I just wanted to kill myself, man. Like, just click the link, How can you not click a link? But, so I think that if you're willing to do that, then I think that you'll have more people sharing their collection that way. Because I don't think they're against sharing their collection. Obviously, they want to show everyone they can, right? Especially if people are interested. But there is definitely that technological gap that you have to bridge. And if you're willing to do that, then I think you'll find success. How does that sound?
Yeah, I'm actually going to get one started tonight. So Dad actually got a smartphone a few months ago, and he's on Instagram, but he doesn't post.
He's definitely on Twitter. He and I speak on Twitter.
Oh, do you? Okay.
We're Twitter bros.
I'm not on Twitter. That's probably not a good idea. But he finally got a phone, and I said, let's get some pictures. He says, well, I got to take pictures of this stuff. I said, okay, bring some decks over. We'll take some pictures. I'll get you set up. So if I can get him to work it, then maybe I can get, other people as well. So
Okay.
And we've got a small, Joe Pearson's on there, Jason McKinstry, Scott Cruz, Craig Guyette. There's maybe one or two more that are fairly active in getting the old stuff out. Because right now it's full of modern and custom and Kickstarter and cardistry and stuff like that. So I want to kind of narrow that gap a little bit.
Of course. So if you're antique or you're a vintage collector and you think that would be a really cool thing, and here's the deal, guys. Yeah, of course it's difficult at first, like anything. It takes a little bit of practice, but once you get the hang of it, it's quite easy, and it's kind of addictive. It's actually designed to be addictive.
Yeah, it is. It took me a while to figure it out.
Yeah, so we have people that are willing to hold your hand and walk you through the process. Kevin has decided that he will spearhead that. So if you think that this is something for you, Kevin, how do they get a hold of you?
You can get hold of me through Instagram, the.congress.
Okay, but if they're not on Instagram, brother, if
they sign up on Instagram, they can find me. The Congress guy at yahoo.com.
The Congress guy at yahoo.com. Okay, yep. Thank you. I think there'll be some people that'll take you up on that offer.
Yeah, we'll do what we can to help.
Any other thoughts or questions, club related?
No, I don't think so. I kind of just wanted to throw that out there for some of the antique people. I figured this would be a good forum to do that.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Do we have anyone else that wants to ask or talk about club business or anything like that? Is the chat kind of slowed down? Karen, go ahead and let's turn your camera. You want to say one more thing? By the way, if you do want your camera or mic turned on, just drop in the chat that you'd like that to happen, and we'll put you in a queue. If there's no more after Karen, and I'm not saying, please ask questions, but if there are no more, then what I'll do is we'll take a break, about a 20-minute break then, and then we'll come back and visit we just saw Joe Pearson's collection. We're going to visit Phil Bolhagen's collection. Yeah. Karen, please.
One thing I realized halfway through this convention, I saw my friend Barb Lunenberg's name at the top, and I started to ask her what her room number was, because I wanted to go talk to her.
Old habits don't die. Old habits don't die.
We're all in.
Barb. I saw Barb with a cat on her shoulder.
Yeah.
Very nice. It's good to see It's good to see everybody, right?
It is.
This was the silver lining of the cloud.
And it's a way to connect a face with a name, which
That's
at
right.
the convention is hard to do.
That's right. This is the first time I got to see Matt Shatt in person. Right? I had no idea what he looked like. I couldn't have even picked him out of a lineup. I've tried a couple times, and I apologize for those people that are incarcerated. But it was really nice to put a face to the name. So I completely agree with you.
And at a convention, when we go to a table, we're just one-on-one with that person. But here, when we're on a subject, you get to hear the other experts on that subject tell their story, which is tenfold.
Absolutely.
This is crazy. I love it. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you. Okay, anybody else? We're going to check the chat room. Does anyone want to unmute their mic or camera to discuss club business? I'm yielding the floor. Anybody? Dave Hoffmeister, the new member of our executive team. Dave, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir. Hello.
Hello. I'm using an iPad for my table session this afternoon,
Okay.
and I wanted to check the camera and make sure that it works. So could you
Okay.
allow my video for just a minute, please?
Is this the device you're currently on?
No, this is my laptop. I'm going to use an iPad, and I'm using it under the name David Hoffmeister will show up on the screen rather than Dave.
Okay, so we're looking to turn on David Hoffmeister's camera.
That's correct. So let me try it.
Oh yeah, have you joined the Zoom call through your
Yes,
iPad?
I have. Yes.
And you're in the chat now, or you're in the room with your iPad?
Yes. Well,
your
in
name?
a second. Yes.
Okay, so you need to be in though in order for us to see you to be able to do that. Just give us a moment, folks. This is the beauty of a live show. There we go. Oh, look at that pinball machine. Don't spoil it.
Yeah.
Don't spoil it.
All right. Hold on a sec. I just want to make sure the audio, if you can hear me.
We can hear you, but it seems like we can hear you from your laptop and not the iPad.
No, I'll shut that down then.
You know what? This is actually really nice the way you have it right now. Honestly,
Okay.
if you just keep it like this, man, you're good.
Can you hear me okay though?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Then we'll use this setup. That's perfect.
Okay. You feel good? You feel comfortable? Confident?
Yeah.
You ready?
All good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have any questions or comments club related that are not tech related?
No.
Okay.
Thanks
Well,
for
thank
that little technical thing.
Okay. Anyone else in the chat want to turn on their camera, their microphone? Yes, no, no, yes. We're going to refresh 4 times. If the bid doesn't move, we'll close out the lot. I didn't think I was going to say that 114 times. No, more than that. Phil Bolhagen. Let's go ahead and turn Phil Bolhagen on. He would like to say something. Hello, Phil.
Hi, Lee. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear and see you, sir.
Okay. Question. This is probably the best auction we've ever had.
Yeah?
Can you tell me approximately how much money has the club taken in because of this auction?
I have no idea at this moment.
It's
Steve
got
and
to be amazing.
Steve and I haven't gone through any of that yet. Our plan is to do that like on maybe Tuesday. I need to sleep on Monday. But Tuesday, most likely, we will go through every single deck order and auction and like we're gonna double check everything, and we'll know then. I don't know what off the top of my head, but we do know that this was incredibly successful.
The other thing is, if you run out of questions, I can start early because I probably have enough to show you.
Okay, well, we're probably not going to start early because my tech team and I have a couple of things we have to run.
Okay.
But Jennifer Dawson has the answer to your question. Let's see if we can turn Jennifer's mic on or camera on, and she can give us that answer because she was tracking it. Okay, she's going to type it. She's going to type it. I wonder where Jennifer learned her accounting skills.
I was going to guess 60,000.
It's just over $32,000 is what we're seeing.
Okay, pretty big number.
Not bad, not bad.
That's all I need to know.
All right, all right, all right, as Matthew McConaughey would say. Do we have any more people that want to turn their mic or camera on? If not, then my stream techs and I would like to take a 15-minute break. I have been speaking for over an hour straight, so I would like to take a break. If there will be no more questions, well, I'll wait another 30 seconds. We'll refresh 2 more times. No? It seems, oh, wait, we have one more. We have one more coming up here. Is it you? Didn't you want to turn your camera on? Hold on, can we do that? Can we turn your camera and John's camera on for a moment? I know, if you're not prepared to do it, then let's not do it. Okay. I want to turn the camera on so you guys can actually see Keith and John. I want you to see what they look like. These are the guys that, like I say, have been making me look great, have been making all of the presentations look great. These two, there they are. You can see me in the back there. Can you guys see me in the back? There we go. We're spotlit. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, wait, nope. I knocked our light over. I'm just trying to put rabbit ears on both your heads. These two guys deserve your love. Just put some ones in the chat for them. These are the guys that have done such an incredible job. You have no idea how much work this was. The leading up to it was an incredible amount of work. And then these 4 days have just been nonstop. And like I say, unless there's a major error, you can't tell that there are errors and fires that we have to put out constantly. And again, it has nothing to do with you guys. It has everything to do with tech issues and computer issues and RAM, and it gets intense. And so these guys have handled it like champions. And so again, I did all these ones, guys. That's for you. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you so much for coming to the 2020 general meeting. I hope it was informative. Your board thanks you profusely. And we're going to go on a 15-minute break now. So Phil, we're going to be back at 5 o'clock to go see Phil Bolhagen's collection. He's got a lot to show us. And everything is for sale. Let me say that again. He has got a lot to show us, and everything is for sale. So I'll see you back here in 15 minutes.